You're going to want to wait to the end of this video so you can see exactly why Bois Bandé is prepared this way. Now let me explain why Bois Bandé is made this way first before we get into how I do it. Because this isn't just a recipe. Bois Bandé isn't a quick fix tea. It's a slow extraction herb. The compounds that support circulation and vitality, they're locked deep in the bark and the root. This is the bark, this is the root. If you rush it, you don't get the benefits. You just get the flavor. You want the benefits. This is why traditional preparation has always involved three things: time, heat, and patience. So be patient while you're watching this video. You're not going to be disappointed because this is the absolute best way to make this method, all right? Make Bois Bandé. Because fast methods weaken the herb. Slow methods activate it. That's not tradition for tradition's sake. That's chemistry. So I'm going to get into a little bit of what Bois Bandé actually does in the body, because there's a lot of people who have never even heard of Bois Bandé. Bois Bandé doesn't stimulate the body. It supports systems. Y'all know I'm always talking about systems. Most people think of it as a bedroom herb. That's incomplete. Bois Bandé is more than a bedroom herb. You know why? It primarily supports circulation, blood vessel relaxation, nervous system signaling, which is very important, especially for men, because when blood flow improves, everything downstream improves. Energy, endurance, confidence, performance. That's why effects feel full body and not jittery. I know a lot of you guys are taking a gas station pill and other things, but when you take those, you notice you get a little headache or your body just don't feel right. Bois Bandé doesn't do that. This isn't caffeine. This isn't a pill. It works because it supports flow, not force. Also, I want to be responsible and make sure people who should and should not use it is spoke about, because Bois Bandé is one of the most powerful herbs coming out of the Caribbean, which means it's not for everyone. It's not for every day. This is definitely for men who feel drained instead of energized. You notice slower recovery, if you know what I'm talking about. You want support, but not artificial stimulation. This is not something you abuse. Don't go jugging gallons of this stuff. More is not better. Also, if you already have high blood pressure issues or on medication, this is where wisdom matters, because traditional herbs are respectful. They work with the body, not against it. So how often should you drink it? Something you sip all day? No, this isn't something you sip all day. Traditionally, 2-3 times per week. It's all you need. Small servings, consistent timing. The best time, early evening, or when your body is relaxed, not stressed. So right before you go to bed, and it works better that way for a reason, right? So I never want you to stack it with heavy stimulants, other stuff you taking. There's no need. Don't stack it. Let it do what it do naturally. Consistency beats intensity. A lot of modern men misuse this herb because modern culture turns everything into a hack. People want instant results. They ignore preparation. They ignore timing. They ignore rest. Then they say, oh, the herb didn't work. But the truth is, the herb worked for centuries. What failed was the approach. Herbs reward patience. Doesn't matter what herb you take in, it rewards patience. They punish shortcuts. You cannot shortcut anything in life. You can't shortcut getting rich. You definitely can't shortcut yourself back to getting healthy. Bois Bandé isn't magic. It's support. It doesn't replace sleep. It doesn't override lifestyle. It doesn't fix neglect. So if you smoke a lot, you know smoking restricts your blood vessels. If you drink a lot, like you got to make some lifestyle changes with this too. But when you use it correctly, it reminds the body how to function. That's real herbalism. Consistency beats intensity. Welcome to the Herb Bar. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to make my Vitality shot. You're gonna get a 2-ounce bag of Boise Bandé root. Of course, you know you get that at Sea Moss and Natural Herbs. All the herbs are fresh off the land. So what's gonna happen is when you either get your root or it's gonna have the actual bark in it. It's gonna root or the bark. You're gonna wanna rinse this off. So you're gonna wanna rinse it and rinse it a little thorough because it's gonna have debris, can have dirt on it. Make sure you rinse it off. This is raw, this is pure, right? I had already rinsed this before I started shooting. So all you have to do is get 32 ounces of water, pour it in a pot. Right? Next, it's simple. All you gotta do is drop your root and your bark into the pot. But there's a little extra special trick that I have. I like to try to extract the yohimbe from the root. I like to soak it. I like to soak it because it'll make it easier when I gotta try to get down to that root. This is my own little special method that I like to do that I don't see anybody do because the benefits are deep into the root. And sometimes you gotta soak it so you could just strip it down a little bit to get to that yohimbe that's deep into the root. And I'm gonna pour all of this into my pot anyway. Scrape it down, but see what I'm doing? What I'm doing is using a banana peel. I mean, not a banana peeler, my potato peeler, and I'm just scraping it down. And I'm gonna just do this through the whole root. I'm also gonna do it with the bark. The bark, you don't have to do it really so much. If the bark gives you any issues, I wouldn't say the sizes matter, but I definitely try to get bigger chunks than I do smaller chunks. And I'm not stripping it down bare. Just want to kind of get some of this top layer off. So all you're trying to do is get some of the top layer off so you can get to the nutrients. All right, you're gonna bring this to a gentle boil and stop. You're gonna reduce the heat. You're gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes. All right, as you can see, we got it to a gentle boil. You don't wanna overboil it. A gentle boil is all you need. I'm gonna cut it off. And we're gonna let it simmer on low. I'm sorry, don't cut it off. Keep it on low. I'm sorry, I'm just moving too fast. Keep it on low, on the simmer for 30 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna give you the steps again one more time. All you need is 32 ounces of water. You got Boise Bandé root or bark. You can shave it down just to try to extract some extra yohimbe out of it. After that, you bring it to a gentle boil. Then you let it simmer for 30 minutes. After you simmered it for that 30 minutes, then you're gonna let it steep for 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes, you grab your strainer and pour it into whatever container or jug you have. Only let it sit in the refrigerator for 3 to 5 days max. When you go to reheat it, do not boil it. Do not boil it when you go to reheat it. That's it. Pour it in your favorite mug. And enjoy. Woo, baby. This is Dr. Tyrell Lewis for Sea Moss and Natural Herbs. And this is the Herbal edition.